Christmas has always been my favorite season. When I was a kid, we decorated the whole house. We baked more cookies than any 5 people should consume, and we ate them all. We picked out our Christmas card photo of our family that friends wouldn't get to see until we remembered to mail it out the following June. It truly was the most wonderful time of year. But the best part of Christmas, for the first 16 years of my life, was waking up Christmas morning to all the presents and stocking stuffers that Santa had brought us while we slept. This is a good time for parents who sense this story going into a specific direction to stop reading the devotional to any kiddos who may not appreciate finding out what happens. Yes, I believed in Santa till I was 16. How, you might be asking, did I make it so long before figuring it out? Well, I can assure you my parents were not trying to protect me from any truth. My sisters found out years before me, and they were not banned from expressing their opinions on Santa to me. They did so regularly with vehemence. If I had been given a quarter for every time I'd been told Santa wasn't real, I'd have been a very well-to-do teenager. But for whatever reason, okay, the presents had his signature on it. Of course they were from him. I held on to the belief in Santa for far longer than I probably should have. That 16-year-old version of myself had an awful lot in common with Doubting Thomas. He earned that nickname in John 20 by saying, "Unless I see on his hands the mark of the nails, and place my finger into the mark of the nails, and place my hand in his side, I will never believe." Even in light of the testimonies from the other disciples, people he should have trusted more than anything, Thomas still held on to the lie that Jesus remained dead. He was so convinced by what he had seen that he couldn't let hope rise enough in him to believe in something he hadn't. It wasn't until later, when Thomas saw Jesus and felt the holes in his hands, that he realized the truth. When he did, Thomas cried out, "My Lord, my God." He had to see to believe that Jesus was alive, but once he believed, Thomas was overjoyed. The Lord whom he had watched be crucified and die was once again walking among them. Hope had died with Jesus on the cross, and now it was alive again, reborn with Jesus in his resurrection. My story doesn't end so well. When I was 16, I asked my mother what she thought Santa would bring me that year for Christmas, and she gestured to the shopping cart I was pushing through Walmart and said, "You're looking at it, sweetie." Now let's take some time to reflect on our reading in chapter 20. We'll start with this week's first question. Why was Thomas so excited when he realized Jesus really was resurrected? Name a lie that held you back, or maybe is still holding you back, from fully believing in Jesus. What is keeping you from overcoming it? And our last question. What are 3 ways that you could demonstrate the hope of Jesus' resurrection to people in your life who are holding on to lies that may be keeping them from believing?